please give a RockStar welcome to the winner of The Voice Season 7, Mr. Craig Wayne Boyd. Bam. Have fun, buddy.
So I said I was going to do this. As soon as I got up here, I need everybody to stand up out of your seats. Come on. And we're going to do jumping jacks or something. Come on, here we go, right? There we go. I should give you a beat, huh, right? There you go. Now you may be seated. I feel like I'm in church all of a sudden. Craig, thank you so much for letting me come up here and share your stage and allowing me to be on your stage. Thank you so much for that. And also, you guys give another big round of applause for Bridget. Songwriting is also my therapy. It's something that I started out at the ripe old age of 4. My dad put a mandolin in my hands. And that's where I kind of got my start, was playing songs like, I'm using my Bible for a road map. My last stop's heaven some sweet day. And my mom took me to this church that was very strict and very Pentecostal. Anybody familiar with that? It was all like, when I think about Jesus, what he's done for me. Anybody familiar? My grandma, on the other hand, was the one that introduced me to country music. Yeah, go grandma, right? I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. So that was kind of my upbringing. And so one of my first jobs was, of course, music has always been part of my life. And this gentleman told me at a young age, he was like, you know what, Craig? Life is made up of all these little tidbits. And what you do with those tidbits is what makes you who you are. And so I didn't realize what that really meant until I was about age 23. And I moved off to Nashville, Tennessee out of a bad divorce. I got married very young, and I didn't know, maybe I shouldn't have done that, We can't ever cry over spilt milk, though. On this journey, I realized that, oh, wow. You can't really take what happened and cry over that, It's something it becomes part of you at that point. And for me, the thing that had always been there for me throughout life was my music. And so I dove straight into music, and I wrote this song right here as a love song to my music. I ain't got much more than a shirt on my back, this guitar and an old pair of boots, a heart full of songs and a head full of dreams, a rusted out old Malibu. But that's all right with me. Money just spends and some friends walk away, and whiskey just won't get you through. But I know I'll be okay as long as I have you. Danced with the devil, I fought with the Lord, living somewhere between right and wrong. But I tasted redemption on the lips of the one who stood here by me all along. And now I understand just spins and some friends walk away, and whiskey just won't get you through. But I know I'll be okay as long as I have you. Nothing's for certain, it's all gonna change. But one thing I know gets me through, yeah, is knowing I'll be okay as long as I have you. As long as I have you. Just as long as I have you. Woo, thank you. Thank you so much. That was the one thing I saw missing up here on stage. I was like, uh-oh, I'm probably going to need some of that. Thank you so much for that. So, like I said, at the age of 23 is when I took off to Nashville, Tennessee with this bright-eyed dream of I'm going to go be a rock star. And I was at that point in Dallas, Texas, where I was born and raised. I was kind of a big fish in a small pond. I was playing all the radio station shows. I got to open up for Keith Urban and doing all this fun stuff. And I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, where all the great folks are at. And I realized I was about that small. And so I had to learn again. And I felt like I was kind of like going to college. And all the stuff that you guys have been learning today is all stuff that I had to start learning on my own. I didn't have teachers, only the people that were there. And there was a few people that took me under their wings and helped me learn a lot. During that time, I met a couple of guys that were really, really great guys. David Lee, and who had written a song called Letters from Home, 19-something, which we got to honor the other day at the CMAs. Those two guys took me under their wings and kind of gave me the strength to keep on keeping on. And along with that, of course, you want to go out every night and you want to go out and play songs and show people what you're doing. But you have to have a job, right? I had left a six-figure job back in Dallas through that bad divorce. And those things, of course, fought me in my head. I was like, you know what? I went back and played this show with David, who happened to be from Dallas. And I saw my ex. I was like, oh my goodness. So the whole drive back to Nashville, I had this thought going through my head. I was like, you know what? I can get past this. Somehow, some way I'm going to get past this. And this song right here was one that came out of that situation for me. And it's called Maybe by Memphis. I hope you like it. My heart skipped a beating when I read the invitation. And old friend I hadn't seen since graduation's getting married. California, can you come? I knew she'd be there, so for my own good I tried to avoid it. But there she stood, bridesmaid, flowers, pink dress, beautiful. After too much wine and a little catching up about the good old days, she broke down and said, let me go. Was the biggest mistake she'd ever made. Now it's a long way from San Jose to Birmingham. It took a long time heart to where I am. As the engine winds and the miles roll by, gotta clear my head and try to forget us. Maybe by Memphis. Oh yeah. It's a lonely stretch of Interstate 40 with a long forgotten memory keeping me company. Questions, wondering, could have been, can it still be? But the thought creeps in and it's tempting to turn. If I can make it past Graceland, that bridge will be burned. Just a few more hours, I swear I'll be home free. But it's a long way from those days to Birmingham. It took a long time to get my heart to where I am. As the engine winds and the miles roll by, gotta clear my head and try to forget us. Maybe by Memphis. It's such a long way from those days to Birmingham. It took a long time to get my heart to where I am. As the engine winds and the miles roll by, gotta clear my head and try to forget us. Maybe by Memphis. Yeah. Maybe by Memphis. Oh, y'all are too kind. So from that right there, I came back and I started into the talk about trying to find one of those jobs to keep me going. And there it is. So I found this job after one of the songwriter nights, out pouring my heart out. Happened to be that the songwriter night was underneath this place that I guess people could call of ill repute. Yeah, it was a strip joint. So I went from a six-figure job to valeting cars at a strip joint, y'all. But you know what? I was getting to do what I loved. I was going to find a way to keep on going, right? So I would take my guitar with me every night to do this. And this one in particular night, one of the girls shows up early to valet her car. She's like, "Hey, Craig, guess what?" I'm like, "What?" "I got a new tattoo." "Oh, really? Where's that at?" She commenced to bend over and show me her new tattoo. Happened to be right on her derriere. It was a beautiful set of angel wings. They were awesome. I didn't have the heart to tell her that they were crooked. So you can imagine what happened in my head after that point, right? There's a song in there somewhere, right? Songs being my therapy, I added a little bit to it. And I come up with this idea right here. She's got that non-stop drinking party with me kind of attitude. With a break your neck, you know you won't be wiggle kind of attitude. She's got a tattoo on her tushy and a itty-bitty diamond nose ring. She's a sweet little have a halo angel with a crooked wing. I'm gonna drop it down a little bit. She goes to church every Sunday morning, always gets some front row seat. The preacher's preaching while she's screaming hallelujah, making eyes at me. It's a rock and southern gospel mixed with country when she starts to sing. Yeah. She's my sweet little have a halo angel with a crooked wing. You know what? She's hotter than a two-buck pistol. She's juicier than a Georgia peach. She could tempt you like the devil, but she saved the hell out of me. And I thank the Lord every single night when I get down on my knees for my sweet little have a halo angel with a crooked wing. Y'all help me out now. Feel free to clap your hands along. Here we go. You said you wanted to move a little bit, right? Because we're getting ready to go to church, y'all. Are you ready? Let me hear you now. Well, I was lost in the darkness in the middle of the night. She took me down to the riverside. That's where I saw the light. She made a fool of a believer, a blind man to see. Right about the time she laid her hands on me, hotter than a two-buck pistol. She's juicier than a Georgia peach. She could tempt you like the devil, but she saved the hell out of me. And I thank the Lord every single night when I get down on my knees for my sweet little have a halo angel with a crooked wing. One more time, y'all. She's my sweet little have a halo angel with a crooked wing. I keep looking down there because I have notes and I'm about to just throw it away because I usually use that as a suggestion anyway, right? Thank you guys, by the way, for clapping along. Got you to warm up a little bit, right? From all of those experiences, I finally had the opportunity to do something on a larger scale. I had been there for about 7 months and I signed into a publishing deal, which I heard Craig talking about earlier about publishing and BMI and ASCAP and all that fun stuff to you guys. I got the opportunity to start writing songs and making stuff up for a living, which is like the coolest thing ever, to go into a job and get to make stuff up every day. It's like, hey, that's cool. Within about 7 or 8 months, I signed my pub deal there. And I was like, I'm on top of the world. I've got this. Went from sleeping in my pickup to that. I was like, man, this is awesome. And I hooked up with a couple of guys, Cole Lee and Levi Sims, God rest his soul. And we had a vocal trio, and we had all these shows going on. We were playing back then. Lady Antebellum had just started. I actually hosted the night that they got signed to their record deal because I was already signed at that point. I was like, brought them in as our opener. And I thought, man, I got this. And just like everything had happened in my life up to that point and had continued to happen, I was like, dude, I got it. Oh. And it would get pulled away from me. And it happened again in the form that Levi had cystic fibrosis, and we didn't know that. And at the age of 26, he passed away. And it devastated us because we had a record deal. We were in the studio recording, and he fell ill. And I didn't know if it was. I almost felt like it was my fault because I was the guy that was pushing us so hard. I was the lead singer for it. I was like, man, it's my fault that this didn't happen. And when I started questioning God, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? He's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So I was like, all right, I'm going to rethink this again. Let's reinvent. So I went out, started traveling all over the country, playing every single club that I could. I was playing about 240, 250 shows a year for about 2 or 3 years. During the time that the band had fallen apart and Levi had passed away, I lost my publishing deal, I lost my record deal, was back down to nothing again. So I went back out and I was like, you know what, let's reinvent ourselves. We went out and started hitting the streets. In about 2.5, 3 years, I landed in another record deal. I was like, all right, here we go. And I had written this song with a friend of mine that I was like, man, this is going to be my theme song. I can conquer anything. It was called I Ain't No Quitter. And little did I know that that song was going to be one that I ended up living after the fact. But I'll play it for you now. They call me hard-headed and SOB. I don't give up on nothing. He usually gives up on me, like some teachers and some preachers do. And you're the kid that breaks too many rules. Yeah, that was me. Well, I guess I get it from my old man. I never seen him back down, but once he made a stand. Like when that bullet pinned me down and pounded me in the ground. I still feel his knuckles, oh, but I never said uncle. 'Cause I ain't no quitter, well, I'm a start to finish kind of, yeah. I'm a big believer. Once I make up my mind, there ain't no giving up. No ifs, no ands, no buts. I don't care how hard it gets, I stick with her. 'Cause I ain't no quitter. Some think she's crazy for loving me. They wonder what she sees, but they can't see. They think she could do better, but when it comes to forever, man, I'm as good as gold. But when it comes to love, she knows that I ain't no quitter. Well, I'm a start to finish kind of, yeah. I'm a big believer. Once I make up my mind, there ain't no giving up. No ifs, no ands, no buts. I don't care how hard it gets, I stick with her. Oh, 'cause I ain't no quitter. There's always walls and dead ends to run into and beat your head against. But as long as I can crawl, as long as I can climb, oh, I might not come in first, but I'm gonna cross that line. You know why? 'Cause I ain't no quitter. No, I ain't no quitter. There ain't no giving up. No ifs, no ands, no buts. I don't care how hard it gets, I stick with her. 'Cause I ain't no quitter. No, I ain't no quitter. Y'all can say it with me once, right? No, we ain't no quitters. Oh. No, we ain't no quitters. Woo. Thank you. Well, that's a powerful statement to make. And when you put something like that out there, it's like telling God that's your plan, right? And when you give God your plan, what happens? Exactly. So I'm out on radio tour, sitting at number 30 on the charts. Everything is going hunky-dory. I'm like, this is my theme song. I show back up in Nashville to the label that I was on. Sony cut them off. And they're pulling desk out of the office. Literally, I pull into the back parking lot and they're pulling desk out. I'm like, what? What is going on? So then, again, it's right there. What do you do? Those thoughts started running through my mind at that point. I'm like, well, Craig, what do you do? At that point, I had my son Jackson, and we're on much better terms now, but after losing the record deal, I lost my longtime girlfriend, lost my place to live, was back down to nothing. Like, what do you do? I got this email. Like, all right, what is this? Would you like to be on The Voice? I was cynical as all get out. I commenced to type back, this is a joke, right? Send. That's a true story. They replied back nicely and said, no, this is not a joke. Awesome. I didn't screw that one up, though I evidently was trying to. So I get the call to do that, and I go and audition, and I never in a million years, that wasn't a path that I thought that I was going to go down. And like I said, if you tell the man upstairs your plans, what happens? They always change. So it was definitely a plan that I never thought about going, because I was always the road dog. Let's go play the 230 some odd shows a year, 250 shows. Let's go do it. That's the way you do it. Be a man, go do it, right? But I had to think about it, and it was interesting to hop into the conference this afternoon and see all the stuff he was talking about with the social media and things like that. For me, being that hard-headed guy, I had to look at it and was like, you know what? I can go out and continue to do what I'm doing and play for sometimes 1,000 people, sometimes 50, sometimes 1. Even one time there was 0. The bartender said, hey, I got to go out and get a pack of smokes. Yeah. But I kept playing. It's like, can I continue to do that, or do I take this opportunity that's given in front of me? It was like a 2x4 across the forehead. Hey, dude, I'm giving you what you want. I'm giving you what you need right now. And so I took the opportunity, and I went out there not expecting anything. And those things started happening. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I would make it through another level. And finally, we made it onto getting the official audition in front of the chairs. And that moment was probably the most scary thing. And I have to ask, how many people did watch The Voice? Well, that was about 5 of you. No, seriously, how many of y'all watched The Voice? There we go. I know there had to have been more than 5. Come on. So then understand how the thing works. You got the chairs that turn around and all that good stuff. And it was such an overwhelming experience to have finally that validation for all the hard work that I've been putting in. At that point, someone was starting to pay attention to it again. And during that journey, I was able to reach back into those early days of music for me and go back to what my grandma had taught me, even with her teaching me the old Johnny Cash stuff. Is it all right if I play you a little Johnny Cash? That was probably one of my favorite moments on the show, is to be able to go back and take a song like that. And it was daring to do that because, I mean, it's Johnny Cash. We were able to take this song all the way to #1. Johnny Cash wasn't that. This song, Johnny Cash did not take to #1, and we did on the sales charts, which was amazing for us. And I'll give you my rendition of it if that's all right. Well, I believe I will. Keep her close, close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes open all the time. I keep the unfold those ties that bind, because you're mine. I will walk the line. I find it very easy to be true, 'cause I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I need me. I'm a fool for you, because you're mine. Well, I walk the line. I keep the ends out for those ties that bind, because you're mine. Well, I walk the line. Oh, y'all too kind. That song really rung a bell to me because it was something that I sang to my son, because I was feeling at that point that I needed to make sure that I made a living for my son. And for me, that was my way of telling him that I was going to do my best to walk the line. And I just wanted to, I don't think I've ever even shared that with anybody before, and that wasn't in my notes that I haven't looked at. But I did want to share that with you guys, because that was something that really drove me to do that song. And it worked, which was crazy for me. Being entrepreneurs, you guys as yourselves, sometimes you got to keep just trying different things. And for me, that was one that worked. I tried a million different things, and this one right there worked for me. And next thing I know, I'm standing up on a stage that I didn't expect to be there. And all these thoughts go through my head. I don't deserve this. These guys are much better than me. Like all of this doubt started coming into my head, and I was like, no, I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. And I mean, it happened. They called my name out, and I'm standing there. I'm like, oh my word, it really happened. And that right there really just blew my mind, because yes, I had achieved a pinnacle at that point, but I also realized, because of everything else that had happened in my life, that was when work really started. But that day, before walking on that stage, I had this song right here that come to my head, and I called a friend of mine back in Nashville, and we Skyped. I was like, dude, I have this idea for this song. And it kind of came from being on the set and walking around, and after being there for a little bit, the guys in the show, I started making friends with everybody that was like the guys that were backstage, the guys building the sets. That was the people that I wanted to know what they were doing. I thought that was the coolest thing. And I would walk through, and they're like, hey, there's Craig Wayne Boyd, y'all. And like, yep, I'm still here. Songwriter therapy. It all started coming back. So this song right here was one that came out of that. And this is yet another theme song. And I know I've shared a lot of stuff like that with you guys tonight, but thank you guys so much for listening to everything. This one right here. If you take anything from what I've had to say and sing to you tonight, it's that all these tidbits that have happened in my life have made me who I am. And whether it be tenacity, stupidity, or I call it stick-to-itiveness, that's my word. But I've been able to continue on, and by no means is my journey over. In fact, I feel like my journey is just beginning. As is all of us, right? Can I get an amen? There we go. This right here goes out to all of y'all. Anyone that's been through a struggle, which I think most of us have, but we're here. It's called I'm Still Here. That's all right to scream for, right? I'm a believer. There's a song in me that's begging to be heard. Yes, I'm a dreamer, hanging on to every word that she said. But I skipped a few meals and slept in my car. When you're down that low, they don't care who you are. This who do you know town. Oh, but look at me now. I'm still here, standing strong, giving it my all, 'cause that's just who I am. I won't give up. I don't know what that means. There's nothing inside of me. So pack my bags and turn my back. Walk away just like that and disappear. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm no leaver, but I gotta be where the marquee holds my name. Because I'm a singer, and I move town to town, stage to stage. Well, my son's at home and he's too young to know why sometimes daddies have to go. So I pour into his heart and say, son, if you ever need me, right here's where I'll be. 'Cause I'm still here, standing strong, giving it my all, 'cause that's just who I am. I won't give up. I don't know what that means. It's not inside of me. So pack my bags and turn my back, walk away just like that and disappear. I'm still here. No, I won't give up. I don't know what that means. It's not inside of me. So pack my bags and turn my back, walk away just like that and disappear. 'Cause I'm still here. I'm still here. We're all still here. Thank y'all so much. My name is Craig Wayne Boyd. Thank you guys. Craig, are you around here?
Let's hear it for Craig Wayne Boyd. So great. So great. That was so great. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you meant for him. Yeah. Hey, we have a couple of minutes left. Would anyone like to ask Craig any questions about anything? The voice or how this works and anything, basically. Yes. So now I need a mic runner, actually, Tony. Sorry. Thank you.
I think I got it. Check.
Man, so I didn't watch The Voice during that.
I didn't before I was on the show.
Yeah, right? And now I know why you won The Voice. Your voice, pure voice, oh my gosh. Like, wow, strong and wow, just wow. I'm serious, we sat back there, right? Yeah. Wow, and we were back there. I know, I don't know what else to say, but go ahead.
It's CraigWayneBoyd.com, or is it? Just throwing that out there. Go ahead.
Thank you for sharing, especially all your personal stuff as well. It makes it even more meaningful. Just curious in terms of since The Voice, how much more you've been, as a result of that, or been able to be more successful in staying sort of on that rise up.
One of the beautiful things about doing a show like that, and probably a stigma of doing a show like that, is that it's like throwing rocket fuel on your career.
Cool.
Literally. Throw rocket fuel on it, you shoot way up in the air. It's like immediately I'm playing shows at that point for just 6 digits for me showing up with an acoustic guitar kind of crap.
Nice.
I didn't pay
And well
6 digits to get him here. I'm doing well, but I'm not doing that good.
It really did happen that way, though. So what happens is those things start happening, and you're like, okay, a lot of folks take that and like, all right, I'm just going to run with it. I knew really fast that you had to build that foundation underneath it, because you shoot way up in the air. What goes up is going to come down. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the hard part.
You better be nice to the people on the way up, because you're going to meet the same people on the way down.
Exactly. So what I did is I put together immediately, while I was on the show, I signed a booking agent. William Morris signed me. I called them and CAA and a few other agents, and I had an agent before I even won the show. And they had me booked 2 days later. I was on my first show. Awesome. And that's part of what he's been teaching up here, is that's what you have to do, is you have to pay attention to all of those things. I had in place before I won the show. I had booking agents, marketing, all of that stuff that the show didn't even supply for you. I had folks that were helping me with my social media, and because I knew that this is what was going to happen. I just believed it in my heart, and so I had all those things in place. But to what you were saying, to continue that, you have to have a team around you. You can't do it by yourself.
Right.
And that's once you get to that kind of thing, you have to have a team around you.
I don't know if you have or haven't as yet, but I'm from Calgary, and pretty big country there. But we also have now a National Music Center, and I work with some of the artists there. That it'd be great to see you come up there.
Let's do it. Sounds like an invite to Canada, right? Wonderful. We got. She's going that way. We'll get back to you guys for sure.
This side of the room has been ignored.
No.
Hi.
Yes, we have. But if we're going to be paid attention at any time, it's probably now that's best.
That's right.
So I did watch that season of The Voice with you on it, and I wanted
thank
to
you.
know since then, I believe it was the old Rugged Cross that she
Yes.
sang.
Mhm.
I know there had been some controversy in seasons past where a Christian song being sang basically meant the death of that contestant.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel going into that? Knowing what could happen, and that was like pretty late in the season for it too.
It was a major discussion that went on. Mark Burnett is the executive producer of that show, and he backed me up on it, as did Blake, and we got what I wanted. I felt like, and I have to say this, and I wasn't going to even say it. Well, we may have to do that here in a minute. I will tell you, I'll do it this way. I'll tell you the reason that I did that. And in fact, I just kind of alluded to that, is that I had spent a lot of my career thinking I was the one that was in control. And that I can do it. But I had to find that inner strength. And there was this light bulb that come above me that said, Craig, you're not the one that's in control. And so when I felt that, I was like, I need to give honor where honor's due, especially growing up in a religious home. I felt like this was the right time to do it. And I did fight them, and they did let me do it. And they said, well, you could go home this week. All right, I'll go out swinging. So I did this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. How I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. To the old rugged cross I will ever be true. Its shame and reproach gladly bear, till he calls me someday to my home far away, where in his glory forever I'll share. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I
was pretty powerful. So was that near the end of the season, you said?
Yeah, it was. That was about I think it was 3 episodes before the end. It was about midway.
And obviously it didn't hurt your standing in the show.
That might have been the first time that a hymn went #1.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Yes. Oh, here we go.
Where are we at? What's your name?
In the light.
My name's Dave. Hi, Craig.
Hi, Dave.
How are you, sir?
I wanted to know, 2-part question. What did you learn from Blake? And after you hit the stratosphere, what did your old Nashville friends, how did their relationships change with you?
From Blake, I showed up at the show, like I said earlier, I showed up very beat up, wondering if I was even supposed to be doing what I was doing. And he was the guy, along with doing that song there, he really pushed me to stick to my guns and do what I do. He's like, Craig, you know what you're supposed to be doing. You feel it in your heart. Stick to your guns, and I promise you, somebody's going to listen to you soon. And that was probably the best advice that I could have ever gotten. And on the second part of that, there was a few folks that, had their little tiffs with me, I guess. But I've always been a fairly nice guy, I would like to think. And so 99.9% of the people were very supportive, and there was a lot of my friends that I've been able to take out on the road with me, pull them up and come out acoustic. And it's been a blessing to have such a good friendship and camaraderie. And there was something that you were saying earlier that it really rung true to me. And that's actually, I believe, who was the gentleman that was here?
Glenn Morshower?
Yeah, Glenn.
Yep.
Glenn said it. He's like, relationships, not to just use people,
Yes.
but it's build relationships. And that's something that I had done from the get-go of being in Nashville. And so that's why those situations weren't bad, is because I didn't use them, they didn't use me, and I was able to bring them along to take them where I was going. And that was a beautiful thing.
That's great.
Over here, Craig.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
I've often wondered when on these shows like the one you're on with The Voice, do you folks get paid for your time on the show? And does it get better as you stay on?
Absolutely. One of the beautiful things of being on a show like that is not only do you get, you're basically paid as an actor, so I have my SAG card and I work really hard to keep that now. So you get paid SAG, and then on top of that, you get a lot of opportunities at that point. You're doing commercials and things like that you also get paid for, because they can't just use you. So every commercial, every little thing that you do for another, we were with Nissan, so I ended up doing a bunch of Nissan commercials after the fact, and then of course on the show you get paid for all of that too. So yes.
Are you thinking of joining the Voice there, Brian? I think you can
Everybody
do it.
go audition, right?
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
Craig. Maureen here.
Maureen.
It was very apparent that as you performed for us, we could really touch and get connected with your heart and your soul. Obviously, this experience for you was one of great transformation and strength and connection with our Maker. What would you say would be the grandest knowledge and clarity and wisdom that you received from God?
That I wasn't in charge. I think that was the biggest thing, is that, yes, we have to follow and chase every single thing that's put in front of us. If there's a door there, walk through it. But when it closes, there's another one that's opening up for us. And I've always been that hard-headed guy that I'll just stick with one thing and boom, all right, I got to start again. But that's probably the biggest thing, is you know inside of you what you're supposed to be doing. You got to follow that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, first of all. I was going to leave.
But then you saw his blue eyes and you're like, there's no way I'm leaving.
There's a dog in here somewhere. That's how I ended up staying here, because I was really tired.
All right, Izzy.
Playing with the dog.
I'm
And I
kind of like a
said-
German Shepherd. I don't know.
I made the investment. I will finish the day. And you are a blessing. And your lyrics moved me. It's a different genre, and you moved me to tears. And your songs, I Ain't a Quitter and the last one, I'm Still Here, were so powerful. All of them were powerful. Your truth, your authenticity, your passion, you can feel it in your voice. So if you ever need a background singer, I'm a doctor, but I was like, wow, I'm blown away.
I'm diving back into my gospel roots a little bit. Come on.
I want to sing country now. But to bring it back for a win for everyone, I see you have the CWB everywhere as kind of your brand.
Yes.
And I'm sure you had many options. How did you choose that was going to be kind of your brand? And can you talk to us about what that is?
I can. Every time I was in trouble as a kid, my mom used my middle name. And it got my attention. Craig Wayne? Like, yes, ma'am. It's like, you heard Craig Wayne. I was like, oh, where's it at? And seriously, that's why I added the middle name back to my, it's like, you know what, if you're gonna be successful, you have to use all three names, Craig.
Craig Stephen Duswalt now.
There we go.
From now on, yeah. I learned something new.
He's got CSD going, right? Here we go.
CSD.
But seriously, that was one of those things. And also, if you put, because I had, some of my friends were like, after I started using it, they were like, Craig Wayne Boyd, y'all. And it has a Y on the end of it. It looks like cowboy, and I play country music. It was one of those things. I don't know. That's one of the reasons I ran with that. And from that, like this right here, I ended up doing a guitar. So you guys, if you want a cool guitar like this is my signature model. You guys can get it on my website, CraigWayneBoyd.com. And yes, it's just one of those things. Seriously, it came from my mom. Called me Craig Wayne, and it got people's attention. It got my attention. I figured it would get other people's attention.
Okay,
Simple as
Craig squared back here to your right. There we go.
Got it.
Sorry. It's tough. That light's brutal.
Craig, a question. So many people want to become rock stars, so few do become them. What point did you realize you were good enough to actually pursue that as a career? What was the turning point when you're like, I got this?
The day that I realized that being a rock star was not being the rock star that everyone sees. Rock star means that you bust your butt and that you work hard. That's what a true rock star is. It's not the glam, it's not the alcohol, it's not the girls, it's not the drugs, it's not all of that fun stuff. It's really, truly working hard.
What happened?
I have no clue, but it's the truth.
I don't know. Something just happened that I missed. Here, over here. Lisa, did you have a...
I was just going to say that one of the things we learned this morning was always do an encore. I think we
Always
did that.
what?
Always have an encore.
Yeah.
Always do an encore.
Yeah.
So maybe we need a second encore.
Oh, I bet we can do that.
We're gonna do. We are. He's gonna do one more song at the end.
Yes.
I'm not joining it because then it would ruin the song. And it would...
There we go.
Although I want to be a backup singer too. I just want to go back on the road. I could give out backstage passes. I'm really good at that. You know.
I think I got some over my guitar case.
Do you have some there? Anyone want a backstage pass tonight? Look at that. Look at that. Look
That'll
at
be in the
that.
lobby later on. We'll just sit out there with a guitar.
That's right.
Pass the guitar.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Did you see me do the whole thing earlier today? I don't know if you were in the room, about like, not that you've ever done this, but you're on stage and there's a pretty girl in the audience and you just want to talk to her after the show. So did you ever like have a person in your crew go out into the audience and find that person and direct them with your guitar where she is in the audience? I'm just asking. See? You think I'm the only one that's... I guarantee he's done it.
Growing up, I always wanted to be a preacher, a politician, or an attorney. Yeah. I'm going to run the attorney side on this one.
Okay, good.
I plead the fifth. In case one of the other ones might work, I don't know.
Right. Go ahead.
I know that there are people that want to submit songs that they wrote and have it go to like a certain person who they would prefer look at it and record it. And usually when you submit it through somebody's agent, if you're not well known, you never get a response. So if someone wanted to submit a song, let's say that they wrote, and it's a good genre for you, where would you suggest they submit it where at least they would know whether or not you even looked at it and just didn't automatically get a, no response from your agent because your agent is a very well-known agent, and normally those type of people only deal with people that have writers who have well-known agents, and they network that way.
Right. It is hard because I dealt with that myself as an unpublished writer, and it's all about networking. There was something that was told to me when I first visited Nashville, and I didn't get to that in the early part, was they said must be present to win, and that was one of those things that I had to, honestly, no matter if you're 15 years old and you're writing great songs, or if you're 75 years old and you're writing great songs, you have to be where those people are at. Here in LA, there's many publishing houses, there's many producers around. Nashville is like a plethora of that. So if that's something that you do, you have to be there. You have to show up. I spent a lot of time, and I got lucky that they listened to me and then gave me the opportunity to go in. Well, thank you. My early break at getting into that was singing songs for other writers. And then finally I got to write with them, and then they started listening to my songs. But
Yeah, it's one of those, it's a catch-22, submitting screenplays, same thing. Submitting anything to an agent, they are very careful of what they accept, because if he has something in the works that's similar, then you're going to say, wait, they stole my song. So that's why they're very, very careful. So his point is, it's all about networking. You got to go to where they hang out. You got to form relationships with these people that make the decisions, and that's how you get in. The world of submitting anything to anywhere, I think it's pretty much dead. There's enough writers that have the connections with them already, that are paid writers for them, that are on, already in and have been playing the game. So yeah, it's all networking, and it's who you know, and it's an
now, me
unfortunate
personally,
reality.
I have two hands and a CD player in my car, so.
There you go, right? Is the mic anywhere? Okay.
So, hi Craig, I'm Stacy. I talked to you outside. You're just so genuine, first of all. Before, I didn't know who you were. I missed the voice, but wow. I'm such a huge fan, and amazingly enough, I don't know, is there a way that as a group could help you, or is that something that, if we all post it, or are you beyond that?
Just buy his stuff at the end, because we pay that for the flight home. Right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Well, are there
Actually,
can we download stuff?
Absolutely. And that's where we were going to, maybe this is where we take it to here.
Yeah.
I have a new single that's going to be coming out to country radio.
Do you have an album?
I do.
Okay.
We have albums back for sale back here. I have two albums, the early albums, which have a lot of the songs that I've played for you today. And then we got a brand new album that we're kicking off. And if it's all right, you asked for an encore, right? I need everybody to stand up.
You need a backup singer on this?
I might. At least I need a stomp and clapper. How about that? Can you help me out with that?
Yeah. I'll be over here.
Out here the sun beats your back like a bullwhip, burning like a roadside chain gang in Mississippi. Sipping whiskey, pouring concrete, soaking wet, soaking up some sticky heat. Working, playing, making love day and night. Boy, if you ain't sweating, no, you ain't doing something right. Oh, you ain't doing something right. Sunrise, sunset, sun, we like it hot. Moonshine make you wanna take it all off. Digging for the man or dancing with his daughter. Can't tell if we just clocked out or just popped out of the water. Working, playing, making love day and night. Boy, if you ain't sweating, no, you ain't doing something right. Oh, you ain't doing something right. Let me tell you now. Out here in the dirt, Lord have mercy, we sweat. Oh, we sweat. I said out here in the dirt, devil be thirsty, we sweat. Oh, we sweat. Us boys ain't taking breathers. Our girls will give you fever. We sweat. Oh, we sweat. Let me tell you. In a ditch, on a roof, downtown, in the woods, a back 40, a back seat, a tailgate up on the hood, swinging sledgehammers or singing in the choir. We ain't gonna be nothing but on fire. Working, playing, making love day and night. Boy, if you ain't sweating now, you ain't doing something right. Oh, you ain't doing something right. One more time, y'all. In a ditch, on a roof, downtown, in the woods, a back 40, a back seat, tailgate up on the hood, swinging sledgehammers or singing in the choir. We ain't gonna be nothing but on fire. Working, playing, making love day and night. Boy, if you ain't sweating now, you ain't doing something right. Oh, you ain't doing something right. One more time. Working, playing, making love day and night. Boy, if you ain't sweating now, you ain't doing something right. Yeah. We sweating, y'all. Thank you.
That's right, baby. Yep.